Good evening. We are back again. It's blackdoctor.org. I'm your host, Dr. Renee. And tonight we are rounding out, it's August 31st. So we're rounding out, August was Black Business Month. So why not have Black businesses that have to do with health? So we have two doctors and one almost a PhD doctor, but we have amazing products and services, and they're going to help you. And that's the best thing, is that they're Black businesses. These are entrepreneurs, and these are things that can help you, because I tell you, without health, you have nothing else, right? So here we go. We have Dr. Lauren Powell. And Dr. Lauren will tell us all about her business shortly. Dr. Kelenne Tuitt, and she'll tell us all about her soon. And Shantae, and I completely just blanked on your last name.
That's okay, Lundy. Hi.
Lundy. Yes. So let's start with Dr. Lauren. Please tell us about, first, she calls herself the culinary doctor. Let's start with that. So that tells you something right there. And then look at her shirt, you guys. Food is my medicine. Food is all of our medicine, you guys. So Dr. Lauren, tell us about your amazing products, which I have actually used.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm glad to be here. So my name is Dr. Lauren. I'm a board certified family medicine physician. I'm also known as a culinary doctor, and that's because I teach how to use food as medicine. I believe that food is the most powerful drug that we have. And so it's truly my goal and my mission to educate about food and the connections between food and health, so that we can end some of these food-related chronic diseases. So I do that in a variety of ways. Generally, I'm, traveling and speaking and doing live cooking demos and cooking classes. Dr. Renee has been to one of my events in Chicago. I'm kind of a bit transitioning. I've been doing this, but even more so now, it's just a ton of digital stuff. I have an online membership called Cooking Queens, where it is a wonderful group of ladies, and I teach all the stuff that I basically don't have the time to teach in the doctor's office. I teach about all the different ways we can use food to heal us, to help with inflammation, to fight diabetes, to fight heart disease. We do monthly virtual cooking classes. They get tons of, content and cookbooks and things from me, and we have a great time. So that's one of my main focuses. And then we're moving actually my digital membership into the corporate wellness space, and offering this and making it available to organizations to offer to their employees.
Wow. So, Dr. Kelenne, please tell us about you and your amazing products and services.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Kelenne Tuitt. I am a board-certified family medicine physician, best-selling author, and host of Your Caribbean Doctor podcast. And I have my own concierge medical practice where I do house calls and telemedicine services. And as part of my practice, I truly believe in what Dr. Lauren is doing. Food is your medicine, but not everybody can eat vegetables. Not everybody has the tolerance for the different texture, the different taste. And so sometimes you just need something on the go. And so I'm a single mom, I'm busy, and a lot of my patients are like that too. And so I have a product called Irie Vitamins, which is a natural nutritional supplement line. And I have various different vitamins that can help boost your energy, help you with decreased inflammation, help you with pain supplements and all of that. So some people just like the natural and alternative form of medicine, which I think there is a place for it. It's not for everybody, but combining it with traditional medicine, you can definitely improve your medical conditions.
Thank you. And Shantae. Okay, so Shantae, I want to call her the superstar, because Shantae, if you have not seen Black Girl Sunscreen, you guys, it has been everywhere. So Shantae, please tell us about Black Girl Sunscreen.
Okay. So my name is Shantae Lundy, and I am the owner and creator of a revolutionary sunscreen for women of color, for people of color, called Black Girl Sunscreen. And there's so much to say, but I think first and foremost, it's thank you to everyone that has made this possible. She said, hey, this has been everywhere, and it's because of us sharing, us tweeting, us reposting, just about something that has truly worked for our skin. So Black Girl Sunscreen, we have eliminated the white residue. However, we have eliminated the toxic ingredients such as oxybenzone, which makes us environmentally friendly, but incorporated ingredients that are great for our skin, such as avocado, jojoba, shea butter, and carrot juice. The myth is Black people don't need sunscreen. Black doesn't crack. But my question is, how do we preserve our youth, right? So we are going out into the sun and burning. Everyone has that auntie that's been on a cruise and has come back sunburned. We all have. And have heard stories like, hey, you know what? It might not have shown up on my skin, but I came back and I was peeling, and that's sunburn. So we came up with something that was necessary because Black women, as a whole, not just Black women, but the Black community has been left out of the sun care conversation for decades.
So I'm going to just start with Shantae just because I just had a thought. So you guys, I think all of us know Bob Marley died of skin cancer. And I think people always forget that. And he was a Black man, not to mention he was an island Black man.
Yeah.
So, so for the fact that he died of skin cancer, that should tell us right there, we obviously need to wear sunscreen. So Shantae, let's just start with, how did you come up with this? Because you are the only one that's not a medical doctor. The other two, they saw patients in the office that needed what they were doing. So how did you come up with this Black Girl Sunscreen?
The short and sweet version is that I'm a woman of the sun. I love to travel. I love to frolic outdoors, if you will. Spending 12 years in South Florida and currently residing in Los Angeles, the sun is out all the time, and being surrounded around friends that would encourage me to wear sunscreen, I was often just put off by that white residue. As you can see, I'm dark complexion, and all sunscreens back in 2016 left a nasty, like toothpastey, just consistency on my skin. And I'll be like, nah, chill. I'm not going out like that. I'm not wearing that. I'd rather pay $25 for that pricey umbrella. I'd rather find an awning to just chill under at the outside day party, right? Because that's what it was. I feel like people of color, Black people, when they go out to an event, they're constantly looking for the shade. So I decided to just jump onto Google and search keywords such as, sunscreen for ethnic skin, sunscreen for Black skin, sunscreen for brown girls, and just came up extremely underwhelmed. And then that's when I figured out that there was a white space in the market. And the biggest question was, could I do something about it? What does that even take? Do I create my own formula? Who's going to make the formula? Do I have the finances? Do I have the resources? So there were many things that it took to even make this come to life. But the first question was, am I the only Black girl that wants to wear sunscreen? Are there other Black women that are going to buy? And then we had so many hurdles, and this is still the biggest hurdle today, is the education piece. So it's all fine and dandy that we've created this product, but it's more about getting in front of folks and talking about the preventative measures that sunscreen can help with. So Dr. Green, you mentioned, skin cancer, and for sure, right? That's like one of the reasons why people wear sun care. But in our community, we talk more about the hyperpigmentation, the dark spots, the premature aging, because when we go to the dermatologist, that's the number one reason why we go. So in terms of cancer cases, it's a low rate. And honestly, we don't want to scare anyone into wearing sunscreen. We want them to embrace it. We want them to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to wear it for these reasons. So that's how I came up with the concept, was really experiencing it and feeling left out. Why is it that I can walk down the sun care aisle and find 20 different sunscreens, but have to turn over the label and figure out if it's going to work with my complexion? So that was really the reasoning behind it. And I'll be honest, when I made this, I didn't really know where it was going to go. We're about 3.5 years in, and it's been phenomenal. We've had so much support from our local relationships to our corporate relationships. And women have truly, truly support it, because Black Girl Sunscreen does what it's supposed to do. We make you look good and feel good at the same time.
So in case you guys didn't know, Black Girl Sunscreen is available in Target stores. So you can definitely check that out. We do have here in the Midwest a few more months of summer. Well, I'll say at least another month, okay?
Yeah.
I'll hold on to a month.
I don't know about a few.
I'll say a month. Dr. Lauren's from Michigan too. So she knows. Now she's in Hotlanta. So she needs Black Girl Sunscreen probably year round. Although, like she said, good moisturizer. Do you know that daily I wear sunscreen? 365 days, because it's good moisturizer. And that's why nobody believes that I turned 44 yesterday.
How did you turn?
44?
Whoa. Okay, double 4.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So,
Day.
thank you. So, yeah. So, you guys, sunscreen every day. Every day. Wonderful moisturizer. So, Doctor, go ahead, Shantae. You had something to say?
Always. There's just so many levels to wearing sunscreen, right? And like, you're on the level that you wear it consistently, right? And that was really like our narrative during the Rona was, hey, even though you might not be traveling to Mexico this summer, but wearing SPF on a daily basis is imperative, right? And I feel like we're not getting to that level until a certain age. Right? I don't know if 20-year-old Black girls are protecting their skin on a daily basis, but 35 plus, like I'm in that category, I am, you know? So I think that, you know, when it comes to sunscreen, it's just so many different levels and so much education.
When I talk to my dermatologist friend, one thing I asked her is like, how can I be ageless? Like, how can I, you know, look like a teenager for the rest of my life? And the first thing she said was sunscreen. And she was like, and Lauren, you know, you're active, you go for a walk at lunch, you need to be reapplying. And that was one thing I wasn't doing. Like, I'm good about putting it on in the morning, but like that reapplying, but that was like her number one thing for like staying ageless.
Yeah. My question is like, why haven't we been exposed to that? Like, why are we just really starting to talk about it? Why is the conversation at the forefront? I think Dr. Renee is frozen.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll join us back soon.
Yeah.
But you know, we like the other, you know, like the white people already know that. Like they lather up with their sunscreen, like they know. And so
but it's even important in the wintertime too. A lot of times we neglect that, and we're still getting exposed to UVA and B rays, which can damage our skin, especially with the ozone layer thinning out.
Absolutely. So Lauren, you said it. Dr. Lauren, you said it. You said our lighter skin counterparts, they lather up, right? But it's ingrained in their behavior.
Yeah.
And that's what Black Girl Sunscreen is. That's our mission and vision, is to incorporate sunscreen into our everyday life. Where you said, okay, you don't reapply, that's because you don't walk with it. You just put it on in the house, you go, and that's it, right? Our lighter skin counterparts, they have it in their fanny pack. They got it in their bag. That they don't. It's like leaving the house with your phone, your keys, and your wallet. Well, they got sunscreen. That's their fourth item. So how do we do that?
But it's, you know, like I feel like this represents like this larger issue in healthcare, right? It's like just the dissemination of information and these preventative things that are just not discussed enough in our culture. And I think about why, right? Like I do physicals and I see Black patients and I see white patients. Why would I, you know, be more inclined to make sure, like, you know, I'm talking about sunscreen to my Caucasian patient versus my Black patient? And I would say probably some of the reasons is we have all these other things that we have to talk about in their visit. You know, like, I don't know, Dr. Kelenne, if you have this experience, it just seems like I'm dealing with so many other things with some of my minority patients that it's hard to get to some of this other stuff because I'm like trying to put out fires, right? Like I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to talk about the diabetes, the hypertension. You showed up, your blood pressure's, you know, 210 over 110. And, you know, you haven't been here in 6 months. And like, I'm trying to do all this other stuff, you know? So I kind of feel like it just represents a bigger problem in our healthcare system of just, you know, making sure our minority patients are getting the access to good quality healthcare on a consistent basis.
That's a lot. That's a lot because we're not.
Yeah.
Dr. Renee.
Uh-oh. She's frozen
the
again.
power went out.
Oh no. Are you still there?
And we'll have internet soon. Yeah. We're using my hotspot, so it's going to be shaky. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Yep.
You guys see me now? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so my sister's working on getting the internet back to functioning normally. But in the meantime, in between time, I wanted you guys to talk about being a Black woman in business. Look at your private chat.
Oh,
Hotspot.
we got. Oh my goodness, there's so many.
Oh, hi. I didn't even see all
I
those
can't see the
comments.
chat, so
Private
y'all
chat.
have to let me know.
Oh, the private chat?
Private chat.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to try and throw things in there if you can't hear me, but talk about being a Black woman in business.
Go ahead.
Whoever wants to go first.
Well, I'll say for me, it can be challenging at times because sometimes people question why you stepping outside of what your traditional role is as a physician. So typically you see a physician working in one area, you're in an office space talking to your patients on a daily basis. But when you branch out, people think there are ulterior motives. They think you're just all about money, or you're just trying to sell them something. But when you explain what you're trying to do in terms of trying to expose them to other aspects of their health, and that there are other ways that you can take care of yourself. So we have a Suncare skin line that can protect your skin, and you break down how that helps you with your health, and patients are more open to supporting you. And a lot of times people want to see you win, but you have naysayers, of course. And so that can be a challenge in terms of not letting that in your mindset and staying positive and keep pushing forward. So for me, I think the biggest win for me was working with other people in a similar industry, like working with mental health providers, working with physical therapists, working with gyms, and letting them know about my services and how we can work together to boost each other's companies together. Whether you are another Black-owned business or not, we can all work together to help our clientele.
Love.
Go ahead, Dr. Lauren. I mean, echo all your sentiments. I was talking to some docs the other day about a project that they were working on, and I feel like now is like the time more than ever that Black women just need to go for it. Like, I think we have truly identified needs within our community and needs within our our people. And, I feel like I'm so done with waiting for somebody else to do it. I'm so done with waiting for somebody else to co-sign what I think what I think is needed, and for them to make it happen. Like, it's up to us. We know the needs of our community, of our people, and it's just time to go. And so I feel like more charged than ever. I recognize that there is, many gaps and many deficiencies in our healthcare system. But for me to be laser focused on what do I feel like that I personally can do to help our healthcare system? And for me, I feel like that's food. I feel like the conversation between food and health is not happening enough in the Black community from providers who look like them. And so that is like the specific niche that I am placing myself in, and is the avenue that I want to travel to kind of help solve some of our issues, our health problems. So I'm all for Black women in business, and I love seeing you guys because it just inspires me, and it just reaffirms like that we can do this, right? Like, why not?
Exactly.
And I'll take us home. So being a Black woman for me has been extremely scary, extremely rewarding, filled with peaks and valleys, highs and lows. I know it means the same thing, but it's just been a really interesting journey because there are so many pros and cons to being a woman and then being a Black woman, from being taken seriously to being the focus of attention right now during the time of BLM, to just being minority owned, female owned, and people wanting to work with you now because they've experienced your product and are loving it. So it's wonderful to have so many of us around doing the same thing on the same path and doing it great, doing it humbly, doing it successfully, making money, making millions. So it has been just something to see. I personally think that it is a great time to be a Black woman. It's our time. We're not trending. We're not going away. We're only getting stronger. Now, what we need to do is bring the other Black women with us, right? So when the spotlight goes off of one, it can go on to the next. We just need to keep building. So that's my piece on being a Black woman in business. It's hard as hell, right? So I can only imagine having a practice and products. I just have a product. But even something so simple as when the riots are going on, as a business owner, how do we respond to the riots? Because a lot of companies got pressure. Oh, y'all not going to say nothing? You're not going to post? What's your stance? I'm like, well, shit, I've been a Black woman all my life. I do the same thing. But it's our scope of responsibility to acknowledge what's happened. So these are some of the things that it's like being a Black woman in business, right? We're feeling obligated to almost please, right? Our community. My last thought is that we are held to a higher standard than our counterparts, our lighter skinned counterparts, in every which way, from product development to customer service, to how we hold ourselves, to how we speak, right? And I frankly think that it's unfair. I could hold it down in all ways, right? But customer, please don't email us because maybe your product is taking a little bit longer because, I don't know, the U.S. Postal Service is, a disaster right now. But don't email us and say, oh, this is what it's like dealing with a Black business. Well, I'll be damned. But do you email Macy's like that? So there's just certain things that I think as being a Black-owned business, it doesn't necessarily, have to be male or female. These are the things that we go through on a daily basis. Now,
you all created products. How difficult or easy must that have been? Especially when even like sunscreen, there's lots of sunscreen. Dr. Kelenne and Dr. Lauren, there's tons of supplements. So how easy or hard was the whole creating products? Whoever wants to take it. Don't all speak at once.
I'll say for me, when looking at supplements, you want to find something that has a pure and a consistent product every single time the patient takes it. And for me, with my product being called IRI Vitamins, IRI means good. It means ultimately pleasing, all powerful, and it means good quality. So when my patients take my product, I want them to feel good, and it should be the same every time. So when I was searching for something to use, I wanted to make sure that I was getting the best quality product from the best sources wherever they were coming from around the world. And so that was very important to me, and that my patients didn't see that there were inconsistencies in terms of how they felt, because there are a lot of products over the counter that you can get, but why choose mine? Well, I know exactly what's in every single pill because it's tested.
So one real quick, one thing I want to say, I want the audience to remember, Dr. Kelenne mentioned that she is a single mother. You guys, single mother, has a practice and products. Anybody can do it. And this is what, Dr. Lauren was saying. We can do this. Women can do this. So we don't need to think that, I can't do this until. No, whatever it is, go do it, you guys. If you have an idea, do you guys agree? If you have an idea, go do it. Research, find someone that's done it before and figure out how they did it. Google's your best friend. But you guys, we can do this. There's no barriers, especially now. If you have not noticed that they are throwing money, particularly at Black women, aren't they?
Especially
Yes,
if you're in
yeah.
the wellness space too.
Yes, especially if you're in any kind of wellness space. Beauty, even wellness. They are
Oh my
throwing
goodness, yeah.
money at you. So it's up to you to catch it. All sorts of grants out there, and all you have to do is apply. And I even saw somebody recently who said they were the only one that applied for the grant. Therefore,
Oh,
guess who
wow.
got it?
Wow.
So
That's
I think that a lot
insane.
of us talk ourselves, that whole imposter syndrome, we talk ourselves out of things, and I can't do this. I don't have this education or this behind my name. You guys, now is the time. Whatever that idea is, go and do it.
Yeah, and just start. I think, Dr. Dre always says that imperfect action. I think sometimes we think we have to have it all together. We have to know what step 20 is going to be before we even take step 1. And we just don't always have to know that. I just think you have to just do it. You have to just go, like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, and like doesn't even work. Then I'm like, like I'll just keep going to work. I'll keep being a doctor. Like, so it's like you don't really have much to lose, but like think about all the people you could be reaching. And so by you not going for it, you're like you're holding back blessings from these other people.
And if anyone has questions, please. Oh, Dr. Kelly would like to know. I just started greens. What's the benefit? I think that's for you, Dr. Lauren.
Well, it depends on what kind of greens, but greens are great. Greens are full of, iron and all your B vitamins. Usually they're pretty nutrient dense, which means like low amount of calories for lots of nutrition. So I always recommend that you have something green at least once a day, preferably with every meal, but at least something green every day.
And it's great for your gut health as well.
And then we have another question. How about food for celiac disease? I think that's you again, Dr. Lauren.
So many things with celiac disease. I think you really have to pay attention to inflammatory foods. So the processed stuff, talking with your doctor and seeing maybe what your body doesn't like. If you have an issue with gluten or soy or dairy, I think it's really about listening to your body, seeing what your body reacts to. But definitely like looking at inflammatory foods, looking at anything processed. Processed stuff is not good for any condition. So the processed stuff, the sugary stuff, anything that comes in like a bag or a box, I usually ask my patients to avoid.
Yeah. So if you have other questions, please do type them in. But yeah, so for you, Dr. Lauren Shante, how easy or hard was it for you to create products?
I did the program with the Medical Mogul, so it really helped having a coach. I'm all about hiring people to help you. Like, I think that's like one of the smartest things I've learned how to do. Spending money to have other people teach you stuff is like an amazing investment. And so I think it helps having coaches and have people kind of lead you and kind of give you resources and connect you with people. So that's been helpful, with the book. I do some supplements as well. And then of course now I'm doing a lot of things in the digital space, which is like kind of a different world than a physical product.
And Shante, what about you? Like, how was it, because I heard you say, do I create the, formula? How easy or hard was it for you?
I am my customer. So I feel like, as a Black woman, I can identify what our struggles are with wearing sunscreen. So I think about when we get out of the shower, what's the number one thing we typically do? We put on lotion. Right? We put on something that's going to moisturize and hydrate our skin. And that's the one thing that sunscreen didn't do, was hydrate nor moisturize our skin. So to make the product, the concept was in my mind, but in reality, to execute it was definitely harder because we have limited active ingredients to work with here in the United States. And then there's a lot of testing involved. So if you want to get it tested up to a 50, you might have to do some things differently than having it tested for 30. So I would say conceptually, it was, okay, I want this, right? It's like building the perfect partner, building a man. I want this, and this. But then actually getting it and having it physical is another thing.
That's hard.
So it was, I would say it was a mixture. but we finally got it to the end result. But then there's more to it than just the one formula, because there are so many different skin types. Some people have more of a dry skin or oily skin or normal. So it's kind of like, how do we speak to all those different skin types?
Wow. Okay, so we have one more, I think we have two more food questions, Lauren. Crohn's disease. My daughter has that. So what do you suggest would help?
Same, I'd say similar things with celiac, watching out for the inflammatory stuff. I would definitely see anyone who has like GI stuff, you should definitely be keeping a food diary, because a lot of times your body will tell you way more than like what a doctor can tell you. Like, your body will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't like, and you just have to honor it and respect what it's telling you. I have patients that come to see me and they're like, oh my God, I get so sick when I eat dairy, but I eat ice cream every day. Well, listen, your body is telling you don't like it. What do you want to do? I mean, you can either honor it and listen to it and find some alternatives, or you can know that if you eat it, you're going to suffer. Like, you have to, you have to decide what you're going to do with the information. So any gut stuff, a food diary is like one of the best things that you can do.
How about foods to help improve circulation and remove plaques from arteries?
So, right, that's like basically risk factors for heart disease.
Yes.
So again, the more plants you can incorporate, that's going to be better. Studies have shown that those who have like a plant-based diet have decreased risk of heart disease. And I'm not saying you have to become vegan. I'm just saying eat more plants, and there needs to be vegetables in every single meal that you eat, and try to limit some of the meat, especially red meat, that can be, kind of inflammatory and lead to some kind of increased plaque formation. So I'd say add the veggies, get rid of the sugary stuff, get rid of the processed stuff, and little red wine, that'll help too.
Dr. Kelenne, you might be able to help here. Any recommendations for mental wellness and memory strengthening supplements?
Certainly taking omega-3 fatty acids can actually help reduce inflammation in the brain and help to reduce plaque formation in the brain and your blood vessels as well, to help with blood circulation and improving your memory. Ginkgo biloba is another herbal supplement that a lot of people use in early stages of dementia or memory loss.
So someone wants to know, any tips on skincare for the face? There are so many products out there, but I want to keep it simple. You could use Black Girl Sunscreen, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know what? But before the Black Girl Sunscreen part, I think it's important to do like just simple things around your home, by changing your pillowcases, maybe every other day or so.
Drink lots of water.
Staying hydrated. And I know sleep is it might be sparse right now, but it's something that needs to happen in order for you to look good and hear under your eyes, right? That's just kind of like the basics. Dr. Lauren will tell you that your diet has a lot to do with your skin. For me, I don't eat any fast food or drink any caffeine. And this is for years. So that has also been a big part in my skincare regimen. So then if we jump over to the products, there's so many on the market. I mean, the beauty industry is booming right now. And you ladies, I'm sure you've seen that somebody is coming out with a new skincare line on the regular. So what I would say that, just to keep it simple, you need a cleanser, right? So wash your face every single day. We'll be surprised on how many people don't do that. I did a little tally on my team, like who washes their face every day with a cleanser, and only half of them raised their hand. That's telling, right?
Wow.
I know. I saw your face, Dr. Kelenne. You're like, ew.
and twice a day. You need to wash it in the morning and at night. Some people just wash in the morning or just at night, but
right. So this is something that I do, that I cleanse my face daily, once in the morning, once at night. I moisturize my face I tone my face, and then I moisturize, and then the SPF. So to keep it simple, it is a cleanser, a toner, a moisturizer, and then a sunscreen. And this is a process of less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think Dr. Kelenne can handle this. What can we do to lose weight? It's so hard to do with having young children. They like chips and snacks.
Oh boy. Well, first all. You have to create an environment that's conducive to you eating healthy, and definitely incorporate your children into that, because your children learn your habits. And so if you allow them to eat potato chips and drink soda all day, that's what they're going to grow up doing, and they're going to struggle with weight loss as well. So I always encourage my patients to include fruits and vegetables in the home. But certainly exercise is another component. You should exercise at least 150 minutes per week. And then I do have some supplements that can help, but you have to do the diet and exercise at the same time. So CLA is one of those vitamins that can help burn fat. And what else? There are some other supplements that I use, but first I would have to do blood work to recommend those for you.
Well, ladies, this has been very, very, very informative, and I hope that we've inspired lots of people to go into business. But I need everyone to give their social media and their websites, because we had everyone asking how to find you guys online. So we'll start with Dr. Lauren.
I'm everywhere at Dr. Lauren Powell. That's DrLaurenPowell. And then on Instagram, so I'm Dr. Lauren Powell on Facebook and on Instagram. I have an additional Instagram that's called The Culinary Doctor, and that's all food. So if you want like a quick recipe or anything like that, you can just go there. It's like quick little videos of food. You can go to my website, drlaurenpowell.com, and find out about my products and services. If you go to dinnerwithdrlauren.com, dinnerwithdrlauren.com, you can get like a free cookbook that I have, like a downloadable one that's like, I think it's 10 recipes that are just like quick, easy, budget friendly for your family. So
thank you. And then Dr. Kelenne.
Hi, you can find me on all social media at Dr. Kelenne. That's DrKelenne. You can find all my products and services at www.drkelenne.com. And then the vitamins are at irevitamins.com. And I also have a social media handle for that at irevitamins. And then you can get access to, so I do promote a lot of stuff for single moms, especially with this pandemic and homeschooling. And so I have a free mini series that talks about how to increase your productivity. And at the end of it, it talks about one of my main hot selling vitamins called Adrenal Energy and Stress, which helps to boost your energy and reduce your stress, especially during these times. And you could go to momsdomore.com.
Okay. And Shantae.
Black Girl Sunscreen, just Google.
She said, Google me.
So if you want to support Black Girl Sunscreen, you would go to blackgirlsunscreen.com. If you want to support, let's say our corporate retailer, it's you can find Black Girl Sunscreen and BGS Kids on Target and inside of Target. So we are a permanent fixture, actually the first Black-owned indie brand to be awarded that placement.
Woo! Yes. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. And then, we have a really strong, I would say, local presence. So, this is about supporting Black-owned businesses. But like I said, if you Google Black Girl Sunscreen, you'll find other .com websites that speak to Black and brown skin that we are on. And we definitely encourage you to shop through them because those are our partners as well. So there's so many options for you to find us. Our handles are at Black Girl Sunscreen across the board, and that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies, so much. Sorry for the technical difficulties, audience. Thank you for sticking with us. And hopefully we'll have you all on again for something else.